Right. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Again, my biggest apology for the inconvenience that happened this morning. First, we started with the stomach ache. Okay, I had a quite bad stomach ache. Okay, and then after that, it's because that we have to switch to the new link for the Google Meet session. Okay, all right. So, have you taken your breakfast?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Right. If you have done or if you have taken your breakfast, then it is good. But if you have not taken your breakfast, hopefully, okay, once we have ended our session, our class, okay, you can have your breakfast, okay? Right. So today, as I have promised, we are going to discuss about your first assessment. But of course, we have to go and look at some of the most important thing first, okay? All right, so I'm going to go through the attendance for today. Okay, I'm going to go through the attendance for today, and then once I call upon your name, okay, please reply by saying yes. All right, just reply by saying yes. Okay, right. Can you see my screen now?
Can,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to call upon your name now. All right, Sophie Patricia, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right, Nik Ahmad Fadli.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Mirza Rushaidi.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ahmad Amali.
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Zuhilmi bin Salaini.
I'm here, sir.
All right, Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid, are you here? Okay, Abdul Rashid is not here yet. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Rashid, you're here. All right, Peggy Lim, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Shahrul bin Hamri. Muhammad
Yes,
Shahrul.
sir.
All right, okay. Muhammad Lukman Hakim bin Nur
I'm on,
Azman.
sir.
All right, great. Muhammad Amza.
Saya, sir.
All right, Muhammad Amar Rafiq. Muhammad Amar Rafiq, are you here? Amar
Yes, sir.
Rafiq? Okay, all right. Great. Shamil Rais, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Izzat Haikal. Izzat Haikal, are you here?
He's here, sir. He's with
Okay.
me.
All right, Izzat Haikal is with you. Oh, meaning that you are sharing the laptop, the computer.
Yep.
All right. Muhammad Haris Azib.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tina Garan. Tina Garan. Tina Garan is not here. Okay. All right. Alida.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Izzat Al Ishraf. Muhammad Izzat Ishraf. All right. Muhammad Adnan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Atif. All right. Datu Hanif Dihaizat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Harith.
Yes, sir.
Abdul Rashid bin Mat Desa.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muhammad Zunur Rashid. Muhammad Zunur Rashid.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Azrul bin Adan.
Yes, sir.
Right. Muhammad Zuhaimi. Muhammad Zuhaimi bin Muhammad Hanafiah.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Abang Syafaat Akmal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sofian Akimi.
Yes, sir.
Raja Anwar Muiz.
Yes, sir.
Pawi Tagdeep Singh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Irfan Naim.
Yes, sir.
Alright. So altogether we have now 28 out of 30 who attended the class. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for your responses. Okay. So now we are in week 3, right? If you can see my screen now, okay, I am sharing with you the weekly planner for UHL2452 English for vocational purposes. So we are now in week 3, and then in this week 3, we are going to go and get into a new subtopic, which is under technical oral presentation, introduction to process explanation. Okay, so we're going to have a look at it, at what is a process. Okay, and then the two types of process explanation, which is informational approach and directional approach. Okay, right, and then this is what we are looking at for today, briefing on assessment 1. In the second meeting, which is on Wednesday, the 1 hour, right, you can read or continue reading about directional approach, okay, and informational approach on how it works. Okay, right. So we are now in week 3 for the first meeting. Okay, these are the things that we are going to learn, and the same goes in the second meeting over here. But our biggest concern is actually on our briefing for our first assessment. Okay, all right. So where to get this? If you go to Kalam, right? If you go to Kalam, you can click the course that we have this semester, right? And then you choose weekly planner here. Then you can have a look at what we have for this semester. All right. Before that, welcome to the new 9 people from section 03P. Okay. Who are able to join us for today. So that makes our class turns to be, am I correct? Yes, turns to be 30. Okay, all right. So if you scroll down to week 3 here, okay, in Kalam, can you see my screen, class?
Not clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Kabur, sir, kabur.
It's not clear? Okay, all right. Let me stop presenting and then I'm going to share the screen again. Can you see my screen now? Class?
Can, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
All right. Okay. So in week 3, we have uploaded many resources actually for you to go through or to read. Okay. All right. We begin with process explanation. I'm not going to discuss about this today, right? But I need your cooperation, okay? Because after this, we have like remaining 1 hour, and also on Wednesday, remaining 1 hour for you to discuss or to have a look at the resources that we have uploaded here, okay? Right, so we have the note on process explanation here, okay? And then we also have uploaded 2 videos, okay, on informational approach and directional approach in process explanation, right? You can watch the video. It is actually a short video, all right? I have created the video actually. But I will share in our Telegram group, okay, the latest version of these both videos, right? I have combined it into one, and you can also watch it. But basically, the contents are about the same, okay? Maybe some additional information that you can go through it, okay? And then I have also uploaded 2 passive voice notes over here on process explanation. How to turn your presentation from active voice to passive voice, or how to write your technical description to a passive voice. I have also shared a link on how to do a process explanation over here, how to build a raised vegetable garden. So this is actually a video, you can watch it, and how the presenter present about this process. Okay, next. Another resources on how to make a French vanilla ice cream. Okay, so you can follow the sequence, right? And then another example on the segue, right? The segue over here, maybe we can have a look for a while. What does it mean by segue here? All right, so the segue here is actually the explanation about the product, okay, and all the main parts and the sub parts of the product itself. Okay, so this is just to get a glimpse of what you're going to do for your first assessment, right? Then active and passive table here is just an activity, not an activity, it's actually a resource, okay? You can go through it just to recap, all right? Just to relearn of what you have learned before, active and passive voice. Okay, we have sequencing activity here, okay? So you can upload this activity later in our Google Classroom. I will create the tab over there under week 3 for sequencing activity. So this is going to be individual task. Okay, the same goes for imperatives and passive voice exercises here. Okay, this is just an exercise. And I have also attached, okay, two other files over here. UHL2452 presentation outline for group work and UHL2452 presentation outline for pair work. Okay, but since this section 01P, there are 30 of you, so and the group should consist of minimum or maximum 3 and also minimum pair, okay, 2 of you. So there are 30 of you. Let's assume that, I'm not going to assume, but I want every one of you to be working in a group. So we are going to have 10 groups altogether. So 30 divided by 10, we have 3 in each group. Okay, all right. So after this, okay, after I have given the briefing about your first assessment, please get into your small group, okay, 3 of you in a group, and you can start discussing about the product that you are going to present for your first assessment. And for your information, okay, after this, I will share in our Telegram group, okay, the list of banned products. Banned here meaning that you cannot choose the product anymore because it has been presented, and okay, the product is not new anymore in the market. So it has been in the market for like certain time. So you are not allowed to choose or to pick the same product again. So we have the list, and I'm going to share it in the Telegram. So please refer to the list in the Telegram group before you decide on the product that you are going to present. Is it clear, class?
Yes, clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. At the same time, right, I have also uploaded some additional resources as well in our second week over here in Kalam. Okay, we have notes on parts of speech, okay, and then the exercises on parts of speech, simple present tense, okay, and then exercises on simple present tense and active and passive voice in technical writing. So you can just go through these resources, okay, you don't have to submit anything, right, because you have submitted your technical description exercise over here. So the rest of the exercises or resources that I am highlighting over here, okay, starting from notes on parts of speech until active and passive voice in technical writing, use your free time, okay, just to go through it again, just to get you refreshed with what you have learned during your school days and what you're going to use later on in the assessment or in this course. All right, so you can go to week 2 and then you can read and watch some videos and also perhaps, okay, do some activities or exercises, okay, on your own. You don't have to submit it. And then the one in week 3, you just go through it again, right? And then you can do the activity. For example, okay, I have given you the task to do 2 activities actually, but over here, you just need to submit, okay, no, not only submit, but there are 2 activities that you need to submit in Google Classroom for activity week 3, which are the sequencing activity and imperatives and passive voice exercises. Okay, for this week, right, you just need to submit 2 activities. Sequencing is very easy. Okay, maybe we can have a look at sequencing activity. Okay, all right, so if you can see my screen now, right, this is the sequencing activity. So this is the image of a volcano, and from here, right, you have to rearrange the process, okay, of a volcano, right? Okay, that is going to be your first task. Your second task over here, imperatives and passive voice exercise. Okay, remember, I have told you what does it mean by imperative. So when you are giving instruction, you are going to use imperative, okay? All right, so over here below are the steps to change a flat tire. In each step, change the imperatives into passive and vice versa, okay? Right, so over here you have the imperative, apply the parking brake, and put car into park position. So when you change it to passive, perhaps your answer is going to be, all right, the car should be put in park position and apply the parking brake, for example. Okay, that is how you're supposed to do the activity. Just change it. Okay, for the second one over here, a heavy object, okay, example rock, concrete, spare wheel, etc., is placed in front of the front and back tires. Okay, and you have to change it from passive form to imperative form. Okay, for example, how to change it for the second activity or second activity here, right? Placed, okay, a heavy object, which is the, what are the heavy object? Okay, you have the list in front of the front and back tires. Right, so I believe and I hope that it is clear for you now and how to do it. Okay, so the same goes over here for the second part. The table below explains the way in which bricks are made for the building industry. So in each step, change imperatives into passive and vice versa. Okay, so from here, imperative, you change it to passive. So if it is given here in passive form, to begin, the clay is dug up from the ground by a large digger. Okay, so you can change it to imperative, dug up the ground using a large digger. Okay, or dug up the clay from the ground using a large digger. So that is going to be your imperative form. Okay, so that is how you're supposed to do it. Okay, so all of these are just an exercises, but hopefully this is going to be very clear of what you are supposed to do for your assessment. Okay, any question, class? Okay, right, now let's have a look at the assessment. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. From the beginning, you like very happy, and then suddenly when I talk about all of the things, suddenly you change, the tone of the voice changes. All right, okay, so this is going to be your first assessment. Okay, English for vocational purposes, semester 1, assessment 1, infographic. Okay, remember, assessment 1 is divided into two parts. Okay, assessment 1A and assessment 1B. All right, so this is going to be given to you soon once I have gotten the signature over here by the head of the program. Okay, right. So for assessment 1A infographic, you just fill in the information in front over here. Okay, the name, right? 3 group members. Okay, and do not forget to put your ID number as well. Right, your name and your ID number. 3 of you in the group because there are 10 groups altogether and 30 of you in this section. So section 01P, okay, my name, right, please get my name correctly, full name please, right, product name, and then the date that you are going to submit it, okay. So the submission for the assessment will be in week 6, okay. Week 6 is going to be from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 15 until 19 of November. Okay, right. So the course learning outcomes over here, CO2, analyze salient information from technical written materials and documents. So over here, you're going to find the information regarding the product that you're going to use or to present, and then you have to analyze which is going to be the most important information that you're going to include, and you're going to take out some unnecessary information or irrelevant information. Okay, CO3, demonstrate presentation skills using appropriate content, accurate language, and effective delivery strategies in describing products. Okay, remember, if you have watched my video on technical description, so you have learned about how to describe about a product in detail. And do not forget, you are required to use the sources of description. Okay, so instructions over here, the assessment is divided into 2 parts, assessment 1A, infographic 10%, and assessment 1B, digital technical oral presentation 25%. So for the first assessment, right, it will be 35% of your overall marks. So you have to read both instructions for assessment 1A and assessment 1B carefully in their entirety, right? Because the instructions will be different for assessment 1A and assessment 1B, but both of it will be under the same assessment. Right, okay. So I'm just adding in your friend. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Right, for this assessment, you are required to deliver a technical oral presentation describing one of the latest, okay, remember the keyword is latest, okay, within 1 year, existing product, okay. So the product release date must be less than a year or 12 months. So, assuming that you're going to do the presentation, you're going to submit the presentation 15 to 19 November 2021. So the product release date should be by 19 November 2020. Okay, all right. If the product release date is in October 2021, then it is not acceptable. Okay, right. And you're going to deliver the technical presentation for Industry Expo Virtual Exhibition, okay, which will be held from 15 until 19 of November 2021. So this is just what they call it, a projection. This is not real, but you are going to assume that you're going to present about the product, okay? You're going to present about the product in an Industry Expo Virtual Exhibition. Okay, so as I have told you, your first assessment, assessment 1A and assessment 1B will be virtual, recorded. Okay, so you're going to send me the link of your presentation or recorded presentation later on. Sorry. Right, the product is to be presented to suit both technical and non-technical audiences. So if you remember my previous slide, okay, my previous presentation regarding technical description, make sure you know who will be your audiences. Okay, and then remember when you are presenting about the product, those without technical background, they know about the product and how it works, okay, or how to use the product. So when you are going to use specific terminologies, make sure that you explain about it so that people know what are you trying to explain. Okay, right, so assessment 1A here, infographic with a partner or in a group of 3, okay, so since there are 30 of you, you're going to have 10 groups altogether for this section. Depending on the number of students in your class, you must do the following. Okay, number 1, research the product thoroughly. So after this, you're going to start discussing in your group, right? And then look at the list of the 10 products, okay, that I'm going to share in our Telegram group. And then you pick one product which is still new. Okay, all right, and then you have to research about the product. So where to research about it? If the product is with you, all right, okay, maybe one of your group members, all right, he or she has the product with them, okay, you can research about it, and at the same time, you can use internet to find more information about the product. Okay, so you just type it, you're going to get the model number, you're going to get the information about the sources of description. Okay, all right, and then for a group or pair, identify the technical description of the unique parts, how each of the chosen unique part works, and how to use the product. Okay, so 3 things right over here. So technical description of the unique parts. Okay, so you are going to look at the main parts and the sub parts. Okay, use sources of description. Okay, sources of description, right, in the sense that, okay, if you're going to look at the dimension, what is the height? What is the length? What is the width? Okay, if you look at colors, okay, what are the colors offered for this product? So that is kind of information that you're supposed to look for. Okay, number 2, okay, under this part, how each of the chosen unit part works. Okay, right, let's say you're going to talk, okay, about several main parts, and one of it is going to be the handle. So you're going to explain, or you're going to find the information how the handle works. Okay, how does it works? Right, how does it work? Okay, in the sense that, okay, the handle is being used to carry this box everywhere, for example. Okay, and lastly, how to use the product. So on overall, how to use the product. Okay, let's say if it is a cat litter box, for example, okay, a huge cat litter box, all right? So you need to place it at somewhere well lit, for example, okay, in an open space, perhaps, okay, and then once the cat has finished its business inside the cat litter box, then you can, or what you are supposed to do, okay, you can scoop out, all right, the feces and such, okay, and then put it in a small plastic bag, and then later on you can carry the cat litter box by using the handle and put it at somewhere else. Okay, so that is about the overall process on how to use the product. Okay, so you need to identify, find information about the main parts and subparts. That's going to be number 1. Okay, and then number 2, you need to make sure that you know how each of the main parts or the subparts works, and lastly, how to use the product in overall. Okay, right. Number 3 here, consult your instructor for approval of your product by week 4, the first meeting. Okay, week 4, the first meeting next week, right? You need to get the approval from me. Right, but if you wanted, okay, if you want to, not wanted, but if you want to get the approval within this week, okay, you can do so. Just text me in the Telegram, okay, I will reply to it. Okay, right, each group or pair must prepare a 1-page infographic poster as the visual aid. Okay, for a group, 300 to 450 words maximum, and pairs 200 to 350 words maximum. Okay, so since that we are going to work in a group, so maximum number of words should be within 300 to 450 words. The size should be in A3 size. Okay, I will teach you to use Canva, but you can also use other platform, okay, to work on your infographic. Okay, I'm going to use Canva, but okay, you can use other platform if you think that you are familiar with it. So can we use Adobe Illustrator, for example? It is up to you. So can we just use PowerPoint? No problem, as long as you meet the requirement. Okay, so A3 size, make sure that it is suitable for a virtual product exhibition. Okay, remember, in this context, you are going to visualize, you are going to assume that you are working for that particular company, and you are going to present the product to the others, okay, to the visitors. All right, upload the final description draft of your infographic into Turnitin plagiarism checker. Okay, for number 5 here, Turnitin, okay, this is for plagiarism checker, to make sure that you read the information from the internet, but you cannot simply take it and put it in your infographic. Instead, okay, you are required to summarize or paraphrase the information. I will share with you the link to a video that I have recorded way back earlier on how to do summarizing and paraphrasing for you. Okay? Right, ensure that you have a minimum of 3 references using APA 7th edition. So the latest version is APA 7th edition. Right, for number 5, the activity, I'm going to collect everyone's submission. Okay, not everyone, each group submission regarding the draft of your infographic. Okay, I'm going to share with you the template. If you remember in Kalam, the last part in week 3, I have put the presentation outline. So that is going to be the one that you need to submit to me, whereby you have to find the information from the internet you put it in your presentation outline, and then you have to paraphrase or summarize the information taken from the internet, and then you just send it to me. Each group, one submission. So how many groups are there in your section? 10 groups. Okay, so once everyone submitted it to me, I will upload the presentation outline, okay, from each group to Turnitin here, and then I will generate the similarity index report. Okay, right, and it should be lesser than 10%. So if it is more than 10%, then you have to redo it. Okay, that is how you're supposed to do. Okay, and then you need to find at least, the more you have, no problem, but at least you need to have 3 references. Okay, when you find the information regarding the product, right, make sure you find it from at least 3 references or 3 resources from the internet, maybe from the manuals, okay, maybe from the magazine, for example, right? And make sure that you have it in APA 7th edition. So the latest version is APA 7th edition. Okay, right. Number 6, plagiarism of any form will not be tolerated. Okay, so 0 mark will be given for the description that contains more than 10% of plagiarism. So if you just copy and paste from the internet without summarizing it or paraphrasing it, then it will be 0 marks for your assessment 1A. Okay, do you want to have that? No. Right, because it carries 10% of your overall marks. Pardon me. Let me take the drink forward. Right. So you need to insert the received Turnitin result at the bottom of the infographic. Okay, I will show it to you afterwards. Right. Submit the soft copy of your infographic as well as the Turnitin similarity report in PDF. Okay, where to get it? I will share it to you. Don't worry. Okay, once you have submitted all of the presentation outline to me for each group, I will upload it to Turnitin, and then I will generate the similarity index report. And if you got 10% and lower, all right, so I will give the similarity index report to you. If you got more than 10%, I will ask the group to redo it again. Okay, right, to the agreed platform earliest on 15 November and latest by 19 November 2021 in the format below. Okay, right, for each group, you can submit the infographic, the soft copy version of it, together with the Turnitin similarity index report, either on the 15th of November or up until 19 November 2021. 15 is on Monday, 19 is on Friday. And I believe most of the group, they are going to submit it on the 19th of November. No problem. Okay, as long as it is still 19 November. So if you submit it to me 12 o'clock in the morning, so it's going to be 20th November, no longer 19th November, and I won't accept it. Okay, so how to name the submission for infographic? Okay, section number 01P. Okay, the title is infographic, and your group number 1 until 10. Okay, and for each group, you need to find a group leader. Okay, put the name of the group leader and also his or her ID number or metric ID, and what is the name of the product that you are presenting. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, all right, for Turnitin similarity report, okay, the same goes over here. All right, the submission, just follow the suggested name here. Okay, so late submissions will not be entertained. Remember, okay, please make sure all submission of the infographic should reach me, okay, or our Google Classroom, okay, by 19 November 2021, 11:59 p.m. No later than that. Okay, right. So this is going to be the guideline. Okay, so let's assume that this is going to be your infographic. Okay, all of it. Right, you're going to have the header. Okay, for the header, you need to have the company logo and the product name. Okay, together with the brand and model. Right, then you're going to have the definition of the product. Okay, product overview. Okay, overall description, main parts and subparts if any. Okay, all right. For example, product overview here, you are going to tell into detail. Okay, all right, in overall. So how many main parts are there? How many subparts are there? And what are they? Okay, then number 3, you go to unique parts. Okay, whereby over here you're going to focus only to what you're going to present. Okay, so technical description, relevant visuals, how chosen unique parts work. Okay, for example here, you choose 3 main parts: the body, the base, and the handle, for example. Okay, that will be the 3 main parts. So you're going to explain in detail about that particular parts together with the relevant visuals. Visuals here meaning that images. Okay, if you're going to explain about the handle, then you're going to have the picture of the handle, or you highlight the picture of the handle and then you explain about it. Okay, and reminder, the infographic must include the content as stated in your presentation guideline. Okay, whatever that you have put in the presentation guideline, which is submitted to the team for similarity index report, should be the same as what you put in the infographic. Okay, and lastly, how to use the product. So these are the main things that you need to have in the infographic itself. Okay, and plus at the bottom of the infographic, okay, the footer here, you need to mention at least 3 references according to APA 7th edition. Okay, so I will share the link afterwards, how to read on APA 7th edition and how to do the citation. Okay, you can just refer to it later on. Do not forget to include the company contact details as well. Okay, the email address. All right, so let's say my name is Muhammad Shafirul Zaman. So Muhammad Shafirul Zaman at, okay, what is the name of the company? All right, the company website, you can take it from the internet, and the phone number, you can also take it from the internet. Okay, right, if you remember in the instruction given earlier over here, right, you have to have this. Okay, insert the received 30 result at the bottom of the infographic. So you need to put it there, okay, in your infographic. So how to do it? So over here. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do. Right, 30 similarity percentage, you have the logo of 30, and then next to it, you have the logo of match overview 8%. Okay, right, that is how you're supposed to do it for the first assessment. Okay, all right, so given here is actually the marking scheme. Okay, you can look at the marking scheme, how you can get good marks for the assessment. Okay, assessment 1A. All right, I'm not going to discuss in detail about the marking scheme. You can look at it later on. Okay, any question regarding assessment 1A? Any question, class?
No, sir.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. Next will be about assessment 1B. Okay. I hope that you can still see my screen. So this is assessment 1B. Right. So this is going to be for digital technical oral presentation. Okay. Right. So the same thing over here. Right. The group that you have for assessment 1A will be the same group for assessment 1B. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the course learning outcomes anymore because we have talked about it. Okay, all right. So the instructions for the assessment basically is the same. Okay, and all right, these are the detailed instructions actually. So assessment 1B, digital technical oral presentation. your technical oral presentation will be in digital format, okay, whereby you need to record the video presentation. How to record it, I will also teach you. Okay, are you going to record it individually or are you going to record it in a group? Okay, and is required to be submitted in week 6. Okay, so you can submit from 15 November up until 19 November 2021, 11:59 p.m. Okay, so as in assessment 1A, you will be working with the same group members. Okay, right. Group of 3 has 9 minutes to present. So there are 3 of you. So individually, you have 3 minutes to present about your task. Okay, so let's say if you are in charge of main part number 1, so you have 3 minutes. Okay, the second person, main part number 2, she or he will also have 3 minutes. And the last person, main part number 3, okay, also 3 minutes. While pair will have 6 minutes to present, okay? So ignore this because we are working in groups. Alright, presenters will only be assessed within the allocated time limit, so do not go beyond the time limit. So when I will be watching your presentation, I will set the clock to 3 minutes. If your presentation is more than 3 minutes, whatever that you presented after the 3rd minute, okay, or the 3 minutes, I will not assess it. Okay? Right, as you are supposedly representing your organization or company in this digital technical oral presentation, you must portray a very high standard of professionalism, which include but not limited to. So these are the suggestions, but you can do better. Okay, no problem. But at least this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, making professional appearance in the video presentation suitable for the context of the presentation. Okay, your professional attire. Right, so can we present wearing a t-shirt, round neck t-shirt? No, you are not allowed to do that. Oh, sir, can we just keep our long hair? Okay, if it is a male presenter, okay, for the presentation. Since that you are a student and you are not allowed to keep a long hair, then you know what you're supposed to do. Okay, so can we use makeup for the presentation? Yes, please, but do not go overly about it. Okay, right. Positioning yourself preferably half of the video frame side by side with your infographic, and make sure your audience will be able to see your upper torso. So meaning that from your tummy up to the head, and hand motions while you are presenting. Okay, when you are presenting, okay, let's say if you put the infographic on your left, then you can just point it to your left. Okay, refer to the examples given below. So this is what you are supposed to go to. Okay, right, so choose the best composure over here. Right, well balanced and good use of infographic as visual aid. So you must appear next to the infographic, not you at the bottom of the page, very small of you, and the infographic is too big, like this one. Okay, the third option here. All right, or it is only you without the infographic, or you are not in the frame at all. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do. Right? Okay, C, ensure that audio quality is loud and clear before video submission. Also try to minimize distractions and background noise. So since that all of you are in the campus now, I believe you shouldn't have any problem regarding this because you are in the well-kept surroundings. Okay, all right. So you can record yourself and make sure that your voice is loud and clear. Okay, ensure your video background looks as professional as possible. Okay, your background. So you can use the white background. Okay, or if you're asking me, sir, can I use the green screen? Yes, as long as it works and it is not distracting other people. Okay, right. So each group or pair must prepare an infographic poster as the visual aid in your video presentation. Okay, right. So if you're asking me, sir, can we just put in the presentation, in the recorded presentation, the full version of the infographic? My suggestion, okay, you can put it in the beginning, but once you are getting into detail about the main parts that you are going to present or explain, you just cut that particular part and make sure that it is big enough, okay? Right, like in this example, okay, if your part is you are going to present about the handle of the litter box, for example, okay, so you can just cut that particular part and put it on your screen so that it will be big enough. Okay, that is my suggestion, and normally for that kind of presentation, I will give a good marks. If you just put the whole infographic, okay, next to you while you are presenting, there is a possibility that when it comes to the delivery part, okay, your marks won't be that good. Right? Okay. So how to do the presentation? So you can just follow the presentation guideline as follows. Okay, we're just going to look at the group of 3 because everyone will be working in a group. So for a group of 3, everyone will be doing the same thing. Introduction, provide self-introduction. Okay, hi, my name is blah, 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 and right, this is our group, for example, okay? And state the purpose of the presentation. Okay, the reason why we are here today because we are going to present about this particular product. Okay, right. So you can provide the company profile, okay, product background, definition of the back product, overall description of main parts and subparts, and preview of the unique parts. Okay, all right. The second and the third presenter, for example, the first presenter, he or she has presented about the main parts and such. Perhaps you can just continue as presented by the first presenter, my friend over here. What is the name? Okay, I'm going to continue, and then as you know that there are 3 main parts of this product, okay, I'm going to focus on this particular main part. Okay, all right. So presenter number 1, this is what you're supposed to do. Presenter number 2, okay. So presenter number 1, unit part 1 and unit part 2. Presenter number 2, unit part 3 and unit part 4, and presenter number 3, unit part 5 and unit part 6. So for each of the presenter, you need to find 2 unique parts of the product. So altogether, since that it is a group work, okay, it is going to be 6 unique parts altogether. Okay, all right, and then you can conclude your presentation, okay, by saying that how to use the product. Okay, so how to use the product is going to be part of your conclusion. Then you can summarize your presentation. You tell about the benefits, why people should buy or should use the product. And at the same time, you tell about the limitations. Maybe the product is expensive, all right, or it requires electricity. So without electric, you cannot use the product, for example. And then you end the presentation. Okay, so for the video, you need to upload it to the digital technical, the presentation to the agreed platform, which is Google Classroom, earliest on 15 November and latest by 19 November. Okay, the same thing. So for this part, my suggestion, okay, for the recorded presentation, what you are supposed to do, you record it, you edit it, okay, and then you upload it to YouTube, right? And when you're going to submit the infographic and the Turnitin Similarity Index report, okay, you submit the link as well, the link to the YouTube video. Make sure that, okay, at least it is unlisted. If it is not public, it is unlisted, not private. Okay, so how to name it? Given here, the example. Okay, you can refer to this example. Okay, this is on the marking part. Okay, you can just go through it. Right, you will see how am I going to evaluate you for your presentation. And these are the marking scheme or the rubrics. Okay, class. Right. Any questions so far? Class, any question?
No, sir.
No, sir. So far, so good.
Okay, right. So today, after this, you need to get into your group, right? Find your group members. Make sure each group will consist of 3 of you, not 2, because there are 30 of you altogether. Okay, so make sure that everyone has a group, right? And then after this, I will share the list of the band product in our Telegram group. Look at the list and then try to find the product as soon as possible. Okay, right. So the one in Kalam, okay, you can just go through it on your own, right? And don't forget the activity that you need to do for this week. Okay, I am sharing my screen again just to show it to you the presentation outline. Okay, right. So if you go to Kalam, right? If you go to Kalam, right, week 3, you go to UHL2452 presentation outline group. Okay, I'm going to open it for you just to have a look and then we can go through it together. Okay. Can you see the tablet, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you and your group members, you have to discuss and fill in this information. Okay, when to do this? After I have approved your product. If your product has not received any approval from me, you cannot fill in the presentation outline yet. Okay, right. So after this, right, so do not forget to have like a cover page whereby you put your full name and your ID number. And once you got the approval from me regarding the product, you have to find the information about this product. Right? So just fill in about the information over here. Okay, name of unit part 1, part 2, part 2, okay? Part 3, part 4, 5, and 6. And do not forget to include the references over here. At least 3. And follow the APA 7th style edition. Okay, class? So this is what you are supposed to do for your first assessment. Okay, so number 1 after this, discuss in your group regarding the product by referring to the list of them, the banned products, okay, that we have, right? And then number 2, you get my approval. Once it is approved, okay, you can start working on the presentation outline over here. Okay, once it is okay, all right, I'm going to collect all of the presentation outline. Okay, 10 presentation outlines altogether. All right, and then I'm going to upload it to 30T, and I will generate the similarity index report. If you got 10% and below, then you may proceed by preparing your infographic. Okay, if your similarity index report is more than 10%, so I will give it back to you and you have to do the correction. Okay, because in the 30 similarity index report, it will highlight, okay, the information that you didn't paraphrase or summarize. Okay, all right. So in the group, in the Telegram group, I will share the link, okay, to the video that I have prepared, okay, on paraphrasing and summarizing. I will also share the link to the video on directional and informational approach. I will share the list of the banned products as well, okay, so that you can refer to it. Okay, so if you are not clear, if you need help, okay, please ask in the group. Do not message me personally, because okay, it will be easier for me if you message it or put the message in the group, so that the questions can be answered and everyone can have a look at the answer, so I don't have to repeat it again. So if you have any question regarding the assessment, please ask in the group, so that I'm going to answer it and everyone can see the answer. Okay? Okay, class?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right. Sorry to spoil your morning, especially after the match last night. Okay, but we have to get ready for our first assessment. So I believe that you are good at it. Okay, we are still learning. Okay, don't worry. I am here to help you to make sure that you get the good marks. Okay, and you are able to fully utilize your knowledge regarding this later on as well. Okay, all right. So now it's 9:25. I believe that's all from me. So thank you very much for joining the session today, despite the glitches that we had this morning. Again, if you have any question, please do not hesitate to put it in the group, so that I can answer it as soon as possible. Right, class? So I'm going to stop the recording now, and that's all from me.